What's up, you guys? So, I really want to help you all master self at the highest level because I believe that that's truly what we're here for. If you can't master yourself, it's like Epictetus said. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If you continually cave to vices, to temptations, to the ego, to the devil, to the surface level shit, you're going to be upset with yourself because you're doing things that are not in congruence with God, with who He created you to be. And that's truly like where our true wholeness comes from. It's not going to come from the things of this world, the money, the status, the fame, the material possessions, any of those things. So I think early on, like my young 20s, like even like 18, 19, I realized that there's so much more for us. Like you gotta get to a point where you realize that there's so much more for you. There's something within you that is always seeking a greater and greater level of existence. And I think that's something that I learned early on, just that there's infinite potential within me. Okay. And like it never stops. So it's a progressive process. Like what I'm telling you is that you're not going to go from one day to the next and be mastered, and you're not going to get to a level where you're like, all right, I'm good. Like, no, like you're going to get to a level where, yeah, you may be further along than most people, but it's still never going to stop. I mean, what is your standard? What is your level of like, hey, this is good. Like I'm happy with where I'm at. Don't stop, but you can find a place where you're like, damn man, I put in a lot of work for years on developing myself, and I'm at a place now where I'm like, damn, I do see the change. And what I'm saying is that you're going to see that change over years though, and stop focusing on when that's going to take place. Just start developing yourself day by day by day. And what I'm saying is that it's literally the small decisions every single day that are going to lead to the result that you desire. Okay, I understood this when I started public speaking. At first, I couldn't even get in front of the room and introduce myself. I was so nervous, so afraid, so insecure, and at such a low place that I could barely even say my name. I was so afraid of what people would think about me or what they would say about me, but I understood it was all insecurities within myself. So I just slowly started to develop myself. I slowly started to come back and go to these Toastmaster meetings, and if I only got up there for 5 seconds, the next time I'd get up there for 10 seconds. And I'd slowly just do that. And then after 6 months of doing that every single time, of pushing it just a little bit further, after 6 months I started giving speeches for 5 to 7 minutes. And people would say to me, wow, I remember the first time that you came in here, you could barely introduce yourself. And at the time, it didn't even dawn on me, because I was just so focused on the moment and so focused on, just growing that much more every single time, that when they would say that to me, I would look back and I'd be like, oh yeah, wow, that's crazy. Or even like with my beard, like 6 months ago, people haven't seen me in like 6 months and they're like, whoa, you grew a beard. And I'm like, you don't even think anything of it. When you are in the process of it, you don't see the changes. You're not going into the mirror every day and seeing the growth. You're not seeing the progress. You don't see the change because you're just focused on that incremental growth every single day that's leading to the success that you seek with whatever it is. And that's the whole point though, is take more pride in the process than you do the result itself. If you are focused solely on the result, you're going to quit. That's what it comes down to. I mean, if you want to build the business, the physique, the relationship, if you are solely focused on the result, you're going to quit. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days are going to go by. You're not going to see any change in the weight or in the muscle or in the business or the relationship, and you're going to get pissed and be like, it's not happening. And then you're going to leave and you're going to quit and you're going to stop showing up every day. And the whole point is keep showing up. In order to master self, you're going to have to show up for yourself, for your higher self, every single day. And if you can do the daily habits that I teach in the Higher Self community, you're going to elevate. You're going to step into who he created you to be, because the becoming process, the becoming process is really an overcoming process. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to remove the devil. You need to remove the devil from your spirit. And that comes in the form of distractions, that comes in the form of TV, of YouTube, of podcasts, of conversations that you have with people that are full of nonsense, content that you subscribe to or are following that is full of nonsense and entertainment and nothing good for you, not building you, it's just weakening you, it's just draining your attention. That comes in the form of vices. The porn is one of the biggest ones. That's draining people more than they even realize. And the thing is that it's all cool because it's all in private. Oh yeah, no one sees it, but God sees it. But deep down, you can't lie to yourself. And the drugs and the alcohol, the junk food, those things seem small. It seems, harmless in the moment. Oh yeah, whatever, I had some junk food, whatever, like my life is still what it is, like whatever, and you don't think anything of it because you're only thinking on the surface. You don't realize what's going to take place down the line of months of those actions, of years of those actions, and how much it's actually costing you. Because just like I said, you're not going to notice the beard change day to day. You're not going to notice the physique change or the business change or the relationship change day to day, but it's going to come out in time. And this is the point. Those small decisions of eating the junk food or watching the porn or engaging in the drugs and the alcohol, those are the small decisions that are building up on the back end over time that people don't even realize. And my whole message is remove all of that. It's harming you a lot more than you even realize. And when you remove that, you will naturally step into who he created you to be. Then you'll actually fulfill your purpose in this life. Then you'll actually master self. Because you've gone through the process of removing those parts of you that, on the surface seem harmless, but are actually impacting you much more deep down than you realize. And as you do, you start to elevate, your spirit starts to awaken within, you start to step into who he created you to be, and then the change is insane. I got to this level where I am now over years. Like to see where I am now, you'd have to go back 5-10 years and see what I was doing then. And that's the craziest part. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't watching porn at the degree that I was. It started tapering off a lot, over time, but that's what it is. I wasn't engaging in junk food. I was going to the gym. I was putting my mind in the right places, taking in positive personal development material, not listening to nonsense and drama and reality shows and all these things. That's the difference, though. So what I'm saying is start doing these daily habits. Join us in the Higher Self community. Start doing the process, because the process, it takes time. It's a progressive process. But if you just commit and you start doing these things every single day, you're going to get to a point 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where you're going to look back and you're going to be like, damn, look how far I've come. But you don't realize it in the moment or in the day-to-day because you're just caught up in the process. And that's the thing. Like, we're really supposed to live in that moment. But you better be aligned with the results that you want. And it only comes from doing these daily habits that elevate you, not weaken you. So if you want to join us in the Higher Self community, click the link in the description. If you want to get in touch with me, DM me on Instagram at Michael Vincent Mindset. But this is the whole point. Are you here to live a life, engaging in the vices and the lower self and the ego and the surface? Because that's not going to cause you to live the life that you truly want to live. It's not going to cause you to feel the feelings that you want to feel. You truly want to feel wholeness. You truly want to feel abundant. You truly want to feel love. You truly want to feel like you're actually fulfilling your purpose in this life. And that's only going to come from doing these positive daily habits and removing the devil from your spirit.